What's up, everyone? This is Rayuka here, and this is my review for Guilty Gear XR Signs for the PS4. And this was released exclusively for the PS4, I believe. So I don't know if this is going to go multi-platform at some point, but that I know of, it's only on the PS4. So as you can see here, there's a few modes that make a return. Not a lot of, but a few modes that make a return. One being MLM mode, then the typical training mode. Then you have library, which is a gallery of information for the characters in this universe and stuff like that. Pretty much is a encyclopedia dash lore location. So if you want to know more about the Guilty Gear universe, it's a lot there. But let me get right into the story. And as you can see here, there's about 10 chapters in the story, with a part A and part B side. And with that being said, the story is pretty much straightforward. It continues right after Overturn in a sense, but you also have characters from Overturn, of course, as well. But it's a sit back watch story. In other words, you don't have to. There's no quick time events. It's just you just sit back and you watch everything unfold. But before you even get into the story mode itself, it's highly recommended that you play the arcade mode so you can have an idea of what's going on in the story mode. And the reason to this is because the arcade mode kind of preps you up with each character and what they've sort of been up to before going into the story mode. Because when you get into a story mode, it's just like, as I said, you just sit back and you watch and everything just unfolds. And I wanted more of the story, actually, after the way it ended, of course. And felt like they could at least squeeze in one more chapter, but they didn't do that. And I'm pretty sure that's because there's going to be another one. Guilty Gear. But besides that, as I said, you see a part A and part B. Not that they make any difference, because it's just a straightforward story mode. You get to learn a lot about Soul Bad Guy, Kiseki a bit, what they've been up to, and you get to also see a lot of Soul Bad Guy's backstory as well, and the origins of the Gears, and pretty much the origins of the Gears, how did that all started and whatnot, and that man, as he's called, that man. As you can also see here, you got profile, replay, gallery, and library. Library says it all in itself. It's just where the Guilty Gear dash encyclopedia or lore is at. And then you got gallery, which is basically the art or anything based around the characters, artwork, sound bits, so on and so forth. The library is pretty detailed, though. I mean, you got detailed descriptions of characters, even the developer himself, Daisuke, and also mentions even the company. So there's just a lot going into the Guilty Gear lore and whatnot, and it just goes from there. They even tell you about characters that weren't even important in the story, that were just background characters, a few of them anyway. So I mean, there's just a lot going into the backstory of Guilty Gear. But going back to what I was saying about story mode, it's a good story mode. You can just sit back and watch, and that's pretty much it. And hopefully they continue that formula in the future of Guilty Gear, where you can just play the arcade mode, catch up to date with certain things, and then just go into story mode where you just sit back and watch everything play out. Because I think that to me is ingenious. That itself is just a no-brainer. Just sit back and watch instead of just quick time events and whatnot. That's why they give you the arcade mode to toy with, for story purposes, of course. Now, going back to the library, as I was saying, there's just a lot in there for the Guilty Gear universe. So if you're a new player and you don't know too much about the Guilty Gear universe, this will pretty much update you on everything that is Guilty Gear. Even the developer himself, or the general director of Arc System Works, and so on and so forth. You also get characters from character references also from Guilty Gear Overturn and other titles around that. So let me start talking about the online. Now I will talk about my experience when the game launched and until now, and what I feel that's where a lot of the issues for me came in when it came to Guilty Gear. So as you can see here, you got lobby and store. Store says everything in itself. It's a store. It takes you straight into the PlayStation Store, and you can download stuff, such as characters, color schemes, and so on and so forth. And then you got lobby. In the beginning, when this game released, it was this. I don't know if it was the servers or what that was going on, but it was really bugged out. I mean, you could barely get a match when it released. I'm talking about 2014 here, back in December, because it was delayed where I lived at because they had shipping issues with the collector's edition, things of that nature. But yeah, the servers were just really bugged out in the beginning. It wasn't really working properly for online anyway. And as you can see here, this is how the lobby looks like. Pretty much, you got people hosting little lobbies within the lobby, player matches. You can also challenge the people as well. You got different, like those little icons moving around are actually people. And as you can see here, you got rank match, player match, and then rankings, which shows where you rank at, and so on and so forth. Character you choose to play, and so on. Now, besides me talking about the little bit of the issues of the online, my other issue with this is the rank match. It's still, to me, a turn off in a sense, because not in a sense, it actually is a turn off to me, because you have to choose your opponent, and when you do that, you're not guaranteed all the time someone's gonna accept your challenge to them. So you're kind of stuck. You know, you can challenge a rank 22, as you see, or a rank 12, or rank 10, rank 40, so on and so forth. And even though they may think that because you're low level and they're a higher level that they're better than you, they still won't accept your damn challenge. So this is very common to see. And also this makes it easier for people to boost as well. So if people are boosting, this is also another way of doing it. But I don't boost. I think it's a waste of time. That's just me. But yeah, I just would have preferred where you just click rank match and it just ranks you up with someone around your contra or around the same level, and that's it, instead of just kind of you picking your opponent and then gunning for it and hoping that they accept your challenge. Another thing to mention here too is the selected regions. You can select which lobby you want to go into. So let's say if you're in New England, you can choose New England. If you want to go Southern or South, you could go that way as well, or Pacific, and choose those lobbies and see if people are, in those lobbies, and choose them as well, and then hope that they accept your challenge. So that's pretty unique, but in itself it's still like Then the gameplay, as you can see here, is cel shaded, and that's what really stood out for me for Guilty Gear. It was the overhaul in graphics and direction. And the instant kills cinematics are just amazing. And then you have the color schemes. You're not given a lot of color schemes when the game released, so you got to purchase some of them. I only purchased the ones to characters that I like such as Aino and so on. But yeah, there's different color schemes for each character, and obviously each character has an instant kill and so on and so forth. And there's about not too many characters actually. A few of them were DLC, like the girl on the far right up top with the pink hair, and then you have Rementhal, which she also has a big role with the story as well. I mean, most of these characters have a big role with the story. So, but besides that, I'm gonna mention the pros and the cons right now of Guilty Gear XR Ascent. So the pros is that Guilty Gear has a great story mode. The mechanics are solid offline. It has a library for new players that don't know much about the universe. They could get right into it and read the library and get into the lore if they're curious. And the soundtrack is amazing too. That's another thing I have to mention. I really do like the soundtrack of this game. Felt like it was a great piece that belonged with Guilty Gear as well. And the roster is decent. Cons: the online servers could have been a lot better when it launched, but it got better over time, but still a little bugged out. I would have wished that rank matches could have been randomized instead of you actually going and picking them one by one. Nonetheless, that's my review for Guilty Gear XR Signs. It gets an 8 out of 10. And until next time, everyone, this is Rayuka here saying sayonara.